Hey guys, the Guitar King here, and this week is the start of a new chapter on this channel where every Thursday, because at the moment I have Thursdays off, we are going to be doing a new segment on the Guitar King channel called the Guitar of the Week, where every single week we showcase a guitar. Maybe I have it, maybe I don't. If I do have it, I will also show off the tones and some of the sounds of the guitar itself. So luckily this week is the start to start this whole process. It is a guitar that I do have, which means you'll be able to hear it later. So for the very first episode of Guitar of the Week, first of all, what inspired this video was, these videos, was the mod collection from Gibson, where every week they show off a guitar, well, 4 of them, and you get to pick which one you like. And I thought, well, maybe every week I could do a little fun video where I show off a guitar I really like, whether I have it or not, and we just talk about it and see what you guys think of it. I figured it would be A, something new, B, it lets me learn about different guitars, because I've really been wanting to get into more of that kind of stuff, and C, it gives time for conversation between everybody. So I'm really excited to see how this is going to work out. So date today is April 16th, 2026. And the first guitar on the Guitar of the Week episodes is going to be the Squire by Fender Telecaster Bullet, the Guitar Center exclusive in red sparkle. If you've been paying attention to this channel, which I hope you do, you will already know that I have this guitar and have made it my Tom Morello drop D guitar. I bought this one at Guitar Center a couple of years ago in 2023. Oh my god, I've had this guitar for 3 years now. And it's been a trusty favorite. The story behind it was I was at a Guitar Center in Portsmouth. By the way, if you haven't checked them out, please do so. They're some of the best. It's a smaller Guitar Center, but it's still one of the greats. I've been with them for a lot of years, so if you're in the area and you love guitars, please check them out. But I was in there with my mom, had to get some strings, and as we were leaving, my mom said, "Are you sure that's all you want? Are you sure strings and something else was the only thing that you wanted?" And I looked at her and I said, "Well, I kind of want to take a look at the guitars that are on the wall." And I guess she'd been planning on letting me buy a guitar, a cheaper guitar, um, and I picked out a blue Squire by Fender Telecaster, but then she's like, "Well, why don't you go with this one?" And I saw it and I realized she was right. So I think to this day this is still my mom's favorite guitar I have in my collection, which says a lot for her not playing guitar at all and not knowing anything about it. So, but it's been a trusty favorite. I'm hoping to bring it on the road once I get my Rage Against the Machine cover band on the road. So that'll be exciting. But let's go through some of the details of this. So I've made a slideshow and I've basically written down everything about this guitar. So you're going to see this basically how it's going to be the whole time, all the episodes. So let's start. So the body of the wood is obviously Telecaster shape. Body shape is a single cutaway, like a Telecaster should be. and it's a solid body. So, but with solid bodies, then any solid body guitar, I say you really have to listen to it unplugged before you plug it into an amplifier, because if a solid body guitar sounds good acoustically, it's gonna sound real good through an amp. So if it doesn't sound good acoustically, if you play a G chord and it doesn't really sound great, maybe that's not the guitar you want. But this does. I will say this. They did a really good job with this guitar. And it's a solid piece of wood. But it's light too. When I picked it up, I didn't realize how light it was gonna be. So I'm definitely glad for that. It's a poplar bodywood, and it has a glossy finish to it. And then another great thing you want to look at is the neck. How does the neck feel? When you hold the guitar and start playing some notes, how does the neck feel? Does it feel chunky? Does it feel more flat? That really just depends on how you like your guitar necks to be. If you like them more kind of skinny or more flatter, then the Telecaster is really good for that. But if you want like a big chunky guitar neck on the guitar, I would go for more of a Les Paul type. But I personally I'm like Joe Perry from Aerosmith, man. I can pick up a Telecaster, I can pick up something that has a super flat neck, and then pick up like a Les Paul or something that has a super chunky neck, comes like way out there, and I don't need any adjustment at all. It's just a guitar's a guitar, honestly, to me. But so it's a C standard, definitely like it. The neck itself is maple wood, and it has a bolt-on joint, which is a little, I think it's like a chrome or metal piece that jolts onto the neck joint for it. Scale length of the neck itself is actually 25.5, which is it's it's normal for a Telecaster. It's normal. It also has a dual action truss rod. Truss rod is always good for guitars because it keeps it from snapping in half easily. And then it's got a satin neck finish, so it's bright. It's a bright, like, if I just go by the color, it's like a bright peach. But honestly, that's how I like them. Now, next thing is the fingerboard. Does the fingerboard look good? Does it feel good? Does it smell good coming out of the case? Sometimes that's a nitro smell to it. So the material for the fingerboard itself is Indian laurel. It's got a 9.5 radius. The frets too, like the frets are these metal pieces. If for all you non-guitar nerds, and the feel is a little smaller, but they're medium jumbo, so I can understand that. Got 21 frets on it. I wish I had 22 to do the tongue roll stuff, but whatever. Dot inlays, and the nut width is 1.65 or 42 millimeters. So, and the nut is this white thing right up here, right before the headstock. Again, for all you non-guitar nerds. The pickups, oh my god, they sound amazing for this Telecaster. The configurations SS, don't know what it means, but I'll do some research. But the neck pickup is a Telecaster single coil, it's their own brand, and so is the bridge. But let me tell you about bridge pickups on Telecaster. If you want that country twang for a guitar, there's going to be nothing, and I mean nothing, to compare it with a Telecaster bridge pickup. The Telecaster bridge pickup has a very unique sound that you're not going to find on any other model from Fender or any other guitar at all. So that's what I really like about Telecasters. Squire have taken it upon themselves to make their own pickups and put it in this thing. So, and then we have active or passive pickups. Again, don't know what it means, but it says passive, so I'll let it slide. And then it's a parallel. They're parallel to it, so it means really they're not one place or the other place. They're just nice and straight, which I do like for pickups, honestly. Makes the guitar look better. And then the controls. So you have the master volume, the master tone. So sometimes guitars, for y'all non-guitar nerds, sometimes a guitar has multiple knobs and switches and things. So sometimes each pickup might have its own volume knob or its own tone knob, but this one has the master. So master means volume for everything and one tone for everything too. And it's on a three-way pickup switch because it's got two pickups. So this picture is for all you non-guitar nerds. The picture has it in the middle, which means both the neck and bridge pickups are on. But if this was up, then it means that only the neck pickup is on. And if this was down, it means only the bridge pickup is on. And then the hardware on it, it's a fixed bridge. Good fix if it was broken anyway. And then it's a six saddle vintage style bridge design, which I like that design for a Telecaster. I don't like the ones where each saddle looks like a T, kind of. I feel like it's more comfortable to play a vintage style six saddle bridge design. The tuning machines are die-cast sealed, and they work really well for a Telecaster. And then all the colors of the hardware are chrome, obviously. And then some other features, number of strings, 6, obviously. It is some of the special features. It's a limited edition, so I can't believe I got my hands on one of these. But this must have been when the limited run was going through, and it's a Guitar Center exclusive, which means you can only find them on Guitar Center or other sources where people might be trying to resell them. The case does not come with the guitar. You have to buy the case separately. But again, for the cases, it's fine. Sorry for my dog's barking. She's a loud one. And then these were originally made in Indonesia. So Indonesia, thanks for these guitars. And then color of the guitar is a red sparkle. Obviously, for a Guitar Center exclusive, the Guitar Center main color is red. So obviously, they're gonna go with red. And then it also has a white pickguard. I don't think it would look nicer with a black pickguard. I like the white on it. But yeah, so that's really all the features on the guitar. So give me about 2 seconds, I'll plug it in and we can hear the tones. Alright, we are back. That totally did not take more than 2 seconds to move the camera around. So now that I actually have this guitar, I want to basically run through the tones that way you guys can hear it. This won't happen all the time, only for guitars that I do have, because obviously you can't play a guitar you don't have. Why? Just why? Anyways, so let's get started. Now, we're gonna go with the clean tones. This is the neck pickup. which is like I said, both pickups are a Telecaster single coil made by Squire. So here is the neck pickup tone on this thing. So that was a little bit of the neck pickup, which has a very warm, creamy sound when it's a clean tone. But now let's go to the neck, to the bridge and neck. So it's going to be in the middle position. So that is both pickups on, which sounds really good for blues. I love when I play the crossroads. It's just not a very good bluesy sound. I definitely recommend playing blues with both pickups on. But now, the bridge pickup, like I said, it's got a very country twang to it. Oh, hold up, shorty. There we go. Like I said, it's got the most countryest twang you'll ever hear on a guitar, and it sounds amazing for it. But I'm not a big country player, but I think I can work my way around something. Now, if you're a big Beatles fan, I like their music, but never been inspired by it. You can hear me on the comments for it. If you don't have a Rickenbacker guitar, but you do have a Telecaster, Telecaster is like a good substitute. It's a good replacement for it. And some Rolling Stone stuff in there too. This is also good for Creedence Clearwater Revival. sound is also good for my childhood song. So those are all the clean tones. I have a bridge pickup. And those are all the clean tones. It's really good to do this practice now. Let me tell you. But now, let's go to distortion. Alright, we got the distortion on. So now the distortion with the neck pickup on a Telecaster, immediate tone right there. You don't have to do much with it. Because remember, Tom Morello uses a Fender Telecaster in drop D, but he only uses the neck pickup. Only, that's it. I don't even know what the bridge pickup sounds like. Probably similar to this thing, but I mean, just to show you how it is. That's the sound right there. Like that's it. You don't have to do much to it. But it's also good for bluesy stuff too. For if you want to distortion, do some Joe Bonamassa stuff. May I remind you, my amplifier is at the gain full with treble, middle, and bass on middle. Just number 5, that's it. And it sounds good for everything I do. But now let's go to the middle position, which I think actually this would be the perfect tone for any Led Zeppelin song. That's literally the tone and sound of Led Zeppelin. That's it. I perfected it. You're welcome. But it sounds really cool. But then when we get to the bridge position, starting again, my apologies. That is Aerosmith. That is Joe Perry's tone right there. And the good thing about the Telecaster, because it's got that raspy tone to it, Joe Perry uses the Telecaster a lot. So this could be a great guitar, Joe Perry guitar. But let's see if I can play the solo to that song. It was easy rich. It doesn't get much better than that for a Telecaster. But those are all the tones, that's everything. But now just for a quick close look up at this guitar. I mean, it's great. I always loved the sound of Telecasters, always wanted one, not just because of the tone relevant, but just because I always thought when a guitar sounds good, and Telecaster sound great. But let's just do a quick close-up. When the light hits it, you see all of the sparkles. So if I'm just back here, it just looks like a regular red Telecaster with a white pickguard, but no, it's nice and sparkly. And that Indian Laurel fretboard looks and makes it sound really good. Sorry, Squire, I'm bringing your guitars. I'm getting arrested. And if we look on the back too, this is where all the sparkle comes into play. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm using the light for... And then here's that. This is the bolt-on joint piece. This is the neck joint. Bolts it on. Help keep the guitar and the neck stay on. Then that's that maple neck we were talking about earlier with the chrome tuners. And then to restring it, this is how you do it. Straight to the back, comes through here, pull it up, don't put your eye on it or your fingers, and then done. That's how you change the strings on it. But I do hope you like that first edition of the Guitar of the Week, which we'll be doing every week. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, peace out. Have a great night. The Guitar King over and out. Rock and roll.